Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Hanna and I'm the owner of the Virgo House Holistic Success Coaching. The mission of Virgo House is to create a community for connection and growth for women seeking a more holistic approach to their ambitious lifestyle. Here on YouTube every month, I'm going to be sharing expert interviews to give you the best life and business advice possible. Welcome to my very first YouTube interview. Today we will be speaking with the Cookie Monster owner, Breanna Browning. She will be sharing with us her journey about pivoting and becoming a successful entrepreneur.
I'm Breanna Browning. I am the owner of the Cookie Monster Cookies, which is a local to Tampa cookie company. We sell huge cookies. They're like 5 ounces, like really big.
Big as your face.
Yeah, like that's what people say. As big as my face. Right now, we sell them every Friday at a pop-up from 12 to 6 p.m. and we ship nationwide for whoever.
So amazing. And I saw that you launched a new website, right?
I did recently change like the entire look of my website. We did a photo shoot and everything, which was really cool and really fun. I use a 90s theme for my business because I am a 90s child, a 90s baby. You know, growing up, I always loved baking and everything. And it just really takes me back to like my childhood days of everything just being cool and good and fun. So I really want to use that vibe to like give nostalgia to the people who eat my cookies. And like when they come to like our pop-up, we have the boombox and the 90s music because I want everyone to feel that vibe and take them back.
You and I got a chance to chat about this a little bit, but I really want everyone to kind of get an idea of why and how you got started.
I mean, plain and simple, like I like cookies. I've always loved baking. I was a person who would bake during the week and take all the goodies to my friends in high school and everything. When I moved to Tampa, there was really no cookie shop. So I lived in Miami for college. And then after I graduated, I lived in Nashville for a few months in Atlanta. And they have, especially Nashville, a plethora of food places and bakeries and stuff. But when I got to Tampa, I was like, dang, no one really has cookies. So I was making them for myself and everything. And then my friends were like, wow, these are so good. You should start selling them because no one in Tampa sells them. And I was like, okay. I never really thought it'd be a thing. You know, I just made cookies for me and my friends. I researched, like I went to a farmer's market. The Ybor market was the first market I've ever done. And people were buying them. And I was like, I can really sell cookies. And this is something I really like doing. So I just ran with it.
I think it is such a cool and unique story. And what I find the most interesting about your background is that this is not the direction that you had always kind of planned on taking. And what I find really interesting, especially with female entrepreneurs, is this idea of always having to pivot and making sure that you know how to take that sharp turn at the right time. So talk to me a little bit about what it means for you and how you took a hard pivot in your career path.
Growing up and everything, I find like just the people I'm around, people I went to school and everything, it's like we have this plan for our life, but a lot of the times it's not focused around our passion. We tell kids like, you can be anything you want, but you got to make money doing it. And you got to like, it's like so many stipulations. And so that was kind of like the position I was in. I like doing a lot of things. I grew up playing the piano for like 10 years. And then I was like, I can't make a career out of that because musicians don't make money. So when I got to college and everything, I majored in electronic media. I changed my major to that because I was like, I'm good at math. Let me be an engineer. I'll have a set, stable career. It didn't work out for me. So I changed to communications and I was good at that. And it was just like, you know, this is the plan I have for myself. I'm going to do video production and social media, which is cool. And I still love to do that stuff. But we're kind of groomed to just be who we want to be, but make sure we can do it well and make a lot of money doing it and that. So when it came to pivoting to the cookie company, which is like my passion forever, it was very scary. I've grown up knowing that like I can make a career for myself doing one thing, but like I don't know what it's like selling cookies to people, and can I make a salary that I can live off of selling cookies? You know, turning something you do for fun into a career is really it's really just scary. But I mean, gotta take the chance. Really, that's what it comes down to. I like to try to just break the boxes of like everything I grew up in with saying, oh, you can be this, but you can't be that, or you can do this, or you can't do that. So that pivot really allowed me to just break out of that box. Like, yeah, I can really do whatever I want to do. Like y'all told me I could, so let me try it.
When was that turning point for you where you said, I've been doing digital media, now I'm gonna go break out on my own?
I left my full-time job last year, March. So it's been like a year and a half, I think. Oof.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, so, thank you. So for a while, I was doing both. So I was going to my full-time job and then I did the Ybor market and I would go once a month things to kind of just like still balance it. And when I was like doing better and everything, I realized the shift that like I wanted to put more of myself into my company and not someone else's. You know, I spent all this time, 40 plus hours a week at work. So I'm like, if I can, maybe I can spend that much time on my business, but more, of course, if you're an entrepreneur, then I can thrive. And I just took a chance. It's really like, just had to do it. It took a while to build up to that because I was thinking about it. And then I was like, girl, you just gotta do it.
So you mentioned a fun word. What was the difference between going to that 9 to 5 and kind of working for someone else? And then what does it mean to kind of thrive doing your own thing?
My career was in social media, and I've always had a fun time doing what I did in social media. Like, I run my social media now because I still love doing that. One thing I really like to tell myself whenever I make a decision or anything is no risk, no reward. It was a risk, the hugest risk ever to leave. Like, I had a salary set. I knew I was going to come to work then. I knew I was going to get paid, pay my bills and everything. But I had to take the risk in order to thrive, because if I would have just stayed in my comfort level, I was working like 40 to 50 hours a week. So when I was making cookies for people, it would be like, afterward, I'm tired, and it was just like, I'll be up all night. And it just wasn't, it's really hard to give 100% to everything. So I had to make the choice of like, do I want to give 100% to my cookie company or to this other company? And I feel like once you give 100% to at least one thing, you can really thrive. I decided to turn and focus all my attention on the cookie company, and I opened up more time for myself. When I wasn't working, instead of doing 1 market a month, I started doing like 5 to 6. So it's like, okay, well, now more people are learning about me, which opened up the online orders for me. So it was really like shift, because I could dedicate more time to the cookie company. First, it was hard and scary because like it's hard. So I'm just thinking, okay, like I don't know what to do. But once you just put yourself out there and just dive in, I was just like, let me find a market, and then word of mouth and everything.
So going through that process, which I think you mentioned things that I think we all feel starting our own business, that turning point of where's my stability coming from, that fear, that time commitment. I think those are a lot of like natural reactions to feel as an entrepreneur, right? So having been through that now, kind of on the other side of it, you're in a thriving, successful business, you're working for yourself. What is the most valuable business lesson that you can share with everybody?
I think the most valuable business lesson is you can always do more if you let yourself. I feel like I kind of limited myself a lot, and like I always thought I was a hard worker, but I wasn't as hard of a worker as I thought I was. Because like a lot of things just came easy to me, and when you're like really comfortable, you think you're working hard, but you can do more. I thought, even in my career, I worked hard and did everything I need to do, and I didn't realize how much more I can get done, especially owning my own business, doing everything I need to do, but I do everything. I do my social media, I bake the cookies, I sell everything, and I've never been in a position to run a business. So it really taught me that you can always do more, but you shouldn't have to wait until you get into a hard situation or a scary situation to do more. I think you can always work harder, you can always do more. So just do it while it's easy.
Yeah, I think taking action is always the most important step. People want to feel ready or like wait for that pressure to kick in, and you can do something every day. I mean, you can also be taking action, right?
Being proactive, it's like a game changer. Instead of waiting for stuff to happen to you, just be proactive. For me now, like the kind of stuff I do now, instead of like when I'm sitting to wait for my car to get serviced or anything, like I was reading a book and one was hustle while you wait. And that's the stuff I do now. So instead of just waiting and scrolling through Instagram, I'm like, oh, let me wait and update this or figure out how I can make this or look at different kind of cookie flavors I might want to. I still have like free time and like chill. When I'm like having idle time, like waiting or whatever, I'm trying to figure stuff out, because it's always more I can do to really like take my business to the next level. Because I'm still not where I want to be. I'm in a good place, but not where I want to be.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're maximizing all that free time, which is super cool. And you have growth ahead of you, which is exciting. When we talk about business as women, I think something that's really important that we can kind of get sucked into that we're talking about right now is this idea of like, we work so hard. We put so much on our plate. We're maximizing all this time. We want more, we want growth, we want action, right? And I think that's what makes women so successful as business owners. But there's this other idea that, we have all these other commitments on our plate besides work. Going through all of this change and all of this growth and kind of already knowing what's ahead of you, what are you learning about yourself and the non-business areas of your life? What is coming up for you like, wow, I'm really learning that I have a lot of need in this area of my life, or maybe I want to like focus on this other thing that's not necessarily business?
I think what I'll say that I learned the most about myself, like outside of business, is that it's kind of more something that nothing that I was lacking, but just appreciating just my spirit, because I used to think that I was impatient or like this, but I'm actually just appreciating the patience that I have for stuff, like the energy and time I put into myself. I always tell myself too, like, you can't pour from an empty cup. When I was working on my full-time job, it was just like overload. I felt like I wasn't doing anything for myself. I was like a workhorse. I never knew how much I loved pouring into myself. I was always pouring into others and pouring into this job or these people, a family, anything. I really learned that, dang, I love me a lot and I need to invest more into just me. I can't even run my business if I'm not even investing in myself. So I really taken time to like treat myself to certain things and like do other things, because it really changes the trajectory of your business. You can't run a successful business if you can't pour into yourself and make you like personally be the best person that you need to be.
That's awesome. I really love that. Is there anything that you do every day, every week that, you know, you need to do to like check in with yourself? Like for me, if I don't get on my spin bike at least 3 times a week, I start acting like a crazy person. It starts to make me tired. My sleep it affects everything. I always know that that's like my zone if I really need to, you know, get back into it. Do you have a thing for you that when you feel it?
I ride my bike in the mornings and stuff, but if I go a couple weeks without doing it, I'm like, something's off. And I need to do that. Something that I used to do that I try to get back to like a couple times a month, try to like go outside of baking and selling, just bake for me, or just bake cookies or try flavors, like baking for fun, taking all the pressure off. Just want to make some cookies today, like, you know, so those are things that I try to do to really stay grounded.
That's super fascinating to me that you mentioned you bake for a living. I mean, in addition to obviously running a business and being a business owner, which has a lot to do with not baking, right? But your free time, it's still something that you really love and that you're passionate.
And sometimes it's easy to forget that, because like now it's like I'm running a business. So it's always about the business. I remember it got to a point like every time I was baking, it's like I got orders, I got this. Took the fun out of it. When I started doing it full time, I was like, sheesh, it's not fun anymore. So I have to like step back and remember like this is actually my passion. And while it is my business as well, there's still fun in it, you know? So that's why every month I have new flavors and stuff, because it's like I want it to remember like this was something that's fun for me. So although I have to run my business and stuff, it's taking time out to know that like, hey, I love to do this. When I'm making orders or for like the pop-up and everything, it's like I'm on a time limit and everything, but I like to like, I was actually gonna do it today. I'll set out like hours. Like I don't want to have a time limit. I don't want to have anything. I just want to go and play with recipes or just try something out and it'll be fun. And then maybe you might have a new flavor next month. I don't know. So
that's so cool. So that's also kind of another interesting pivot that, you know, you had set flavors, right? And then when you kind of realized, oh my gosh, I really want to be enjoying this again, you found a way to kind of embed that back into your business model.
Yeah, and it's really fun. I started like with 3 new flavors a month. Once the pandemic hit and everything, and I saw no markets or stuff, I scaled down. But you know, things are kind of picking back up now, especially with the pop-up. So it's gonna scale back up. It'll be really fun. My whole thing is like I want to have fun. That was my thing with leaving too, like my full-time job. I want to have the freedom and have fun with what I'm doing. If I'm spending this much time every week, and of course we all know as business owners, we're probably gonna spend way more time than if we had a full-time job. So it's like, well, I'm going to spend this much time, I have to have like some fun.
I feel like the fun radiates out of your business. It's so clear to me when I see your social media, when I see your website, and like now your super cool t-shirts, which I'm obsessed with your t-shirts. I think they're so fun. It radiates that you are really enjoying it and that it's just a fun brand and really, really cool. So one thing that I'm excited that you and I are doing together is that we are doing a giveaway for a box of 6 assorted cookies. Everyone gets a chance to, you know, subscribe, check out my videos. So the way that this is going to work is that we are actually going to run this giveaway for the first week of October. You will have until October 10th to follow my YouTube channel, subscribe to my channel, and then you'll be able to check it out on Instagram. We'll put all the details up there for the giveaway. But we are going to do a giveaway for 6 assorted Cookie Monster cookies. I'm so excited for it. They really are like the size of your head. I bought them before. I sent them to my mom for her birthday. She wouldn't share them with anybody, which was a bummer for literally everybody else. But I'm pumped. Your brand is so fun. It's so cool. I find it so fascinating. I started following you back probably before you were even doing it full time. And I've just seen how your brand has grown and become successful. So I'm just really happy that you were able to take some time with me today and talk to me about your journey and, you know, how you were able to define success for yourself.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And we'll definitely talk soon. Enjoy the rest of your day and get back to it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. You too.